Dennis Clark Art School, and this class we're going to be looking at two-point perspective, and that means if you're looking at an object you need to see two faces of it, but I'll explain that in a minute. So let's go over and have a look and see what I have for you on the screen. This one here first. Okay, now here we have two faces. You've got a building and you're looking at it at a corner, and this one is disappearing further into the distance on this side, and this one disappears into this distance on that side. And as it disappears into the distance, as you know, from the one-point perspective, it gets smaller and it vanishes right at the horizon line. So let's have a look and see what I've done. I've got the line tool here at the moment. So take this top of this roof and let's take a line, and that will shoot out across here. Take another one from the top of that roof, shoot it across. Take this one across there, and let's take the top of these windows across here, and that will run right along there. And then along the ground level you have another one that's running across there. And then here on the street level you have, let's take that one, and that will run along that line across here. There's actually a curve in this on the side of this pavement. This is an old derelict building, but still you can see all the lines. Let's take a whole stack of them that it shows up properly. That runs right across there. And you can see all these lines start big on this side. Go across this side through to there. So you can see all these are converging at a point further along on the left. Now let's have a look on the right hand side. Let's take this window. Let's start it from about here and let's go across here. That one will run there. That one run across down there. This one will run there. That one will run across this side, on the side of this window sills. Then we have the street level, which is, let's take that and run that along that line across there. So you can see these ones here all coming along to a vanishing point right out on the right hand side. So the widest part between all these lines are all here at this corner that is facing us. The subject of the roof is another thing which we'll check at a later stage. That brings you to a third point. At the moment we're looking at two-point perspective. So there we have this one across here. Now all the little windows, let's take this little one here going across there. Now whenever we want to add any of these lines inside the little windows, we'll draw a line from the vanishing point through here, and all these windows will get wider and wider. You'll also notice as well too that the gap here That one goes straight across through to there. Okay. Now, all these are all vertical lines. What I want you to notice as well too, quite often people when they're doing a third, when they do the roof, they want to have this line. Let me see if we get another color. Let's take the red. I'll take that there and keep it the same length on this side. So in other words, that they'll bring it across and it'll bring it down to, let me just get rid of that. That is, where's my delete? Take it from the top. And let's get it sort of more or less the same length. Out to there. At this point, so I'll put a little line across there so you can see where it stops. So get rid of that. Okay. But in actual fact, what happens is the further line is actually longer than this one here, because if you take the point from this eave, let's take that red from there down to that point, to the eave. Can you see what happens? Let me get a thicker line so it's easier to see. I'm going to put that across here. You can see the bottom of that eave to the bottom of this eave here still follows the line through to the vanishing point. When in actual fact, this line on the right-hand side is much longer than the other. So when you're going away, that actually gets further down. It looks like an optical illusion, but that is the way that the perspective works. So you need to take a note of that one. So whenever you're doing this, that you see like this point of the eave here, that's also lower than the other one. But it's this face on here where you get that part of the house which catches quite a lot of people onto there. Okay, so we've got a vanishing point on the side. So whenever you've got two faces across here, that will give you two vanishing points. On this other building, on the left, if there was little windows on that one there, that face there is the same as this face here on the right-hand side. So that face, that grey area that you see there, it will also go through to the same vanishing point on the right-hand side as this face on the building at the end. As you can see, it goes to the vanishing point on the left-hand side. Okay, so let's go and have a look at another picture. Right, here we have quite a lot of perspective onto this one. It's also two perspective, 2 point. So let's come along and let's go back to the, all right, let's take some white lines on here so they can see that easy on this color. So let's just go and pick a white, so we get the, okay. Now this one here, the nearest point basically is this line across here. So let's bring that down. So it's actually got a rounding on this side, but it's a bay window, so that goes from this corner through to the rest, and just a short way in or to the right, you've got a bay window. And we'll see how those lines go. Okay. Now, we've got the top building. It's got a bit of a flat here, but here is a short little corner. Now, that corner is offset from the one on the right for the simple reason is that you can see it starts on a face across here. So let's do that vertical. I don't want that. Let's get rid of that. I want that one to start from there, and I'm going to bring that one up to there. Okay, so there is the one, because that is set further back along this line. So it's, so let's take this one. Let's start from this point. Let's take a line from there. Oops, I don't want to move that. I'll have to take it next to that one, right. That line goes through there. We have one up top here. You can see it running there. Let's take this one along here. That other window is set lower down. That line and then we can see these other ones along the top of this fence runs along here. And then even if you take the top one here and you run that one down along that face, all these go through to the, that one is not quite correct, so let's just I'll pass the redo, okay. That one will go down that way. Bay window, that one will go down there. That one will also run down through to there. So you can see all these lines with the two-point perspective. When you're looking at a corner, you have one face shooting down towards the left, other one down to the right. You'll have all those vanishing points across here. Let's get this across here too so we can finish that one. That one runs across there, and then we have another one that's running in this, across this area there, and you can see along the top of these here. That also runs across there. So whenever you're doing all these windows, you see this bay windows is something else already. I'm not going to go into that at this stage. Just let's keep the actual face without the bay windows, because each one of those has got its own, except this part here. This one here is in line in the same face as the, well, not quite, no it isn't. Okay, that one shoots out at a slightly different angle to the other, so let's ignore that one. Unfortunately I can't get rid of that line because I've gone past my undos. Okay, so let's and have a look at another one. Here we have a nice little house out in Switzerland, and it's called Kindergarten zur Linde. So the kindergarten, Linde can also be a person's name, it can be a place name. Linde is also to do with a lime. It could also be Linde's kindergarten. It's a very nice kindergarten looking one. All right, here we have this face. I want to show you something else as well too. So let's take a line up to on that corner. Okay. If you have a look, you see that corner there is the same as on this line, and it's dead center between, right in the middle of that window. So in actual fact, what's happened here, if I'm looking at that, this is almost looking at 45 degrees this side and 45 degrees that side. And if I'm looking at the shadow here, the sun is straight full onto this face. Okay, so this is a line then that will be our line where the diagonals go through to the vanishing point. So let's take one line to there. Let's take a line from here roughly at that point there. And if we take from that side of that window, let's see where that line is. Going across, and take top of this roof. Take that one. Line it up. Across there, we take from that corner to that corner there. You can see how these all fit very nicely. And take the top of that window. And then we see something else peculiar here. Where that line, let's take it from here, in actual fact is going up to there. And then we have that line from there, which is going across, and that one goes very nicely towards the vanishing point. Now that is telling us that there's a slope here. And you can see that by virtue of this little line across here, down the bottom, that little one there. You can see, and that gives you that little cue that this part here is up higher than the paving. So this paving here is at the slope. when we look at the top of the little spire and we see all these other lines, let's take this one up here and show you that that is running virtually up, and these here is running at an angle. What's that? Where did that come from? I need from here, we'll be going up this side. That one is going up at an angle. This one is virtually straight up. Not quite. Let's do that again. I think that one. The lines are so thin here, I've got to try and see it against the dark. Right, that looks better. There we go. Now the spire, because these are all vertical up this side, and all of a sudden these can tell me that if you look straight onto it, it actually narrows to the top. It's not a perspective that you're looking from below going up and disappearing, because all these here should have been straight up lines with all the rest, because you can see all these other lines here are all virtually all straight up, and these here, so that is it's a trunk. Let's put it this way, it's called a truncated pyramid, and these are the lines on the top here don't follow the perspective normally, because that is the little roof that has its own little slopes and stuff that's on its own. But in here there's a brickwork inside, so we take from that little corner and that little brickwork. I'll just take it to the, see that one still goes through to that line, and this line also goes through to the perspective line. Right, now let's have a look at the right hand side. All these will go to the right as well, so let's start this point and go through to there. A little point here. Let's take this one here. I've just only had all the sneezes and the hay fever, so let's take that line going across there. Right, the top of this roof here will also form the same perspective that's going through to there. This other one will also follow that line through, oops. Get it nicely on the line. Roughly, it's still going all through to this corner here. That one across here will also go through to there, and that bit of the brickwork will also go through out along there. And there's a little corner of this roof here. Also, also follow that same line through to the perspective, and that corner here will also follow down there that way. So here you can get rid of that. Here you can see all the perspective lines, because there's a lot of abutments and stuff going on here. You can see which are the ones that follow to the right-hand one, even though it's on the left-hand side of this corner, because of all these others. These are little things that one needs to sort of look for at this stage. And these here, you can see, let's take, there's another one that goes through this line through to there. Let me take the bottom of this window through to the bottom of that other window. And these steps also follow the same route. These windows will also follow from there right through to the vanishing point. So there's a lot of lines. There's another little thing here. Here you can see this piece here sticks out from the wall. It's like a balcony. So you have another one that runs from those windows, will run from there, because this plane is going, will also go through that vanishing point. That will go through down to that vanishing point. This little balcony on the top here too. That one will also run down into insufficient memory. Okay. I have to call it a day on that one. So, right. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go over and we're going to have a look at a whiteboard. So, let's go out of this and take you to the whiteboard.